What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review, here with another ranking. Right now I'm going to rank the Paramount Plus the Paramount Plus Star Trek series. I've been very critical of Paramount Plus. I feel like they don't understand what Star Trek is, and because they don't understand what Star Trek is, a lot of the content that they're putting out there, it feels like they're trying to turn Star Trek into something that it isn't. They're trying to turn it into like Star Wars, or they're trying to modernize it, or they just don't understand the world that Star Trek inhibits, a world where mankind is aspiring to be better. And I just don't get that in a lot of these shows. I'm not getting a world where mankind is aspiring to be better. So yeah, I don't know. That Paramount does not understand Star Trek, but I've still watched all these shows, and I'm going to go ahead and rank them for you. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 of them, and number 5 is, for me, is Star Trek Below Decks. Now, I know Star Trek Below Decks has garnered a bit of a following. For me, Below Decks is an embarrassment to Star Trek. It's not Star Trek. It has none of the heart of Star Trek. It doesn't have any of what Star Trek is wrapped into it. It's Family Guy put into a Star Trek. It's Family Guy wearing Star Trek clothes. It's not Trek. And for me, I just have a really hard time getting through it. Below Decks is number 5. Number 4 is Star Trek Prodigy. It's okay. It's okay for what it is. It's a kid's show. Now, I don't think Prodigy understands what Star Trek is either. Star Trek is an examination of what it means to be human. And there's no humans in this. How can you examine what it means to be human when you don't even have any human characters in your show? Now, I realize that a lot of that examination that Star Trek has historically done has been using non-human characters like Spock, like Data, but at the same time, you have to have a counterpoint to that point. Spock always had Kirk or Bones. Data always had Picard or Riker. You have to have that counterpoint to that examination exception point. And this doesn't have that. This is a show made for kids that isn't really concerned with examining what it means to be human. Number 3 is, so let's see, number 5 was Below Decks, number 4 was Prodigy, number 3 is Star Trek Discovery. Star Trek Discovery, when it's good, I really like it. Most of the time, I don't. Most of the time, I think Discovery just, if any show is guilty of trying to turn Star Trek into something it isn't, it is Discovery. Especially, I mean, if you take out Below Decks, which Below Decks just isn't Star Trek at all. If you look at the live action stuff, though, and say what live action thing is most guilty of trying to turn Star Trek into something it isn't, it's Discovery. It is hell-bent on turning Star Trek into Star Wars, and it's not working. There's some good stuff in Discovery, but for me, it is clearly, painfully obvious that Paramount does not understand Star Trek when I watch this. There's a lot of retconning. There's just a lot of stuff in this that doesn't fit Star Trek canon, and because of that, I don't hate Discovery, but I definitely don't enjoy it. Number 2 is Star Trek Picard. I like Picard more than I don't like it. I've liked his journey, especially in Season 2. I liked his journey with Q. The ending of Season 2 definitely left me a little emotional. Can't wait to see what happens in Season 3 with the original cast, with the original crew coming back. I've liked this exploration of Picard in his golden years, and some of the pain and regret that he has, but also some of the hope for the future that he has. I've really enjoyed that. They still don't understand Star Trek. I mean, they're still trying to turn Trek into something it isn't. They don't understand. Picard exists in this dour world. This world where humankind is very reminiscent of what we are now. Now, they're doing that for commentary. You know, Paramount definitely wants to have some social and or political commentary. So because of that, they've changed the world that Star Trek inhabits to represent the world that we live in now, so that some of their stories can have some of that social political commentary. That's fine, usually, but understand the world that you're inhabiting. This world that Picard inhabits looks nothing like the Next Generation. The people that exist in this universe are not the same humankind that existed in the Next Generation. It's so far removed from that it's almost unrecognizable. I've liked the journey Picard has been on, but I wish that the world would have more. I wish the world would have more connections and more aesthetically. I wish it would more aesthetically feel like Star Trek. But number one is Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. I feel like Paramount has been hearing fans because this feels more like Star Trek. Now, it feels modern, but it feels more like the classic Trek, where it's very episodic. There is some running storylines throughout, but it's episodic, it's hopeful, it's an examination of mankind, it's an examination of humankind. I feel like this one, more than any of them, understands what Trek is. And I have to believe that that is a response to Paramount hearing us fans who are like, you guys don't understand. You guys don't get it. Because of that, I feel like this has definitely garnered a fan base. And because of that, I'm hoping that the reception has been strong enough that Paramount's going to start altering course on what they're going to do with future Star Trek series. Because I feel like this one has been a win. And this is the only one. I liked Picard. Discovery has its moments, but this is the only one where I can say, I like this show. I like this Star Trek. I want more of this. So, Star Trek: Strange New Worlds has been a huge win, and for me, is far and away the best of the Paramount Plus Star Trek series. Nothing's even close. So, what are your thoughts? How would you rank these Star Trek series? Let me know in the comments down below. I know there's some Below Deck fans out there that want to get their opinion in. Please do so. But that's my take on it. So, while you're down there commenting, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.